In 2018, at the ceremonial presentation of Crown Prince Frederik's portrait on his 50th birthday, the heir to the Danish throne looked truly happy. He laughed sincerely, applauded the artist Ralph Haymans, hugged his children, and posed proudly for reporters in front of the huge canvas. That evening, Frederik was not just a prince. He was a man who had found inner balance. This portrait of the current King of Denmark will almost certainly go down in history. With slight wrinkles on his face, a pensive gaze, and a gentle smile, the oldest heir in the history of the Danish monarchy since 1660 looks at the reflection of his family in the mirror. Next to him, like a quiet reminder of the path he has traveled, the mirror also reflects the portrait of his mother, Queen Margrethe II, who has already left the throne. Just 50 years ago, heirs had no choice but to sit and wait, Frederik told writer Jens Andersen, author of his biography Under the Beam. Wait until their father or mother, most often their father, passed away. Now things are different. I am calm about waiting, calmer than I was in my youth. And there is no cunning in these words. Frederik's path to himself and to the crown was not easy and deserves a separate story. Margaret II's eldest son had two qualities that shaped his character from an early age: rare sensitivity and striking physical beauty. Even as a child, Frederik felt like a hostage to his own origins. Even his name was not chosen by his parents, but was a requirement of protocol. The royal couple had no freedom, only two options: Christian or Frederik. He became Frederik. His son became Christian. Thus, the centuries-old line of Danish kings was resumed, interrupted only by a rare exception, the accession of a woman to the throne. Frederik and his younger brother Joachim grew up as classic royal brothers, the heir and the spare. At the age of 4, Frederik had already become crown prince, although he himself did not yet understand what that meant. They realized early on that their childhood did not belong to them. I often asked myself, why do I have to do all this? Why can't I just be myself? He later recalled. The answer came one day in a particularly harsh tone. Prince Henrik, the boy's father, told them bluntly, "You are not equal. Frederik will become king. Joachim will not. I will raise you both equally, but the responsibility will fall on only one of you." These words became a turning point. Frederik was too young to understand the greatness of his destiny. At 5 years old, you want to be loved, not the future monarch. But his father was strict, and his mother was emotionally distant. Margrethe herself later admitted that motherhood was never her strong suit. Shy, sentimental, and dreamy, Frederik annoyed Henrik. The prince consort, who had suffered from a secondary role all his life, saw his son as the future king and demanded strict discipline. But Frederik resisted his destiny more and more. When asked at the age of 10 what he wanted to be, the boy simply replied, "An astronomer." The queen immediately smoothed over the awkwardness. A wonderful hobby. But at that moment, it became clear that the future king dreamed of the stars, not the throne. Frederik only truly began to live when he started attending a regular school. Until the age of 12, he had been educated at home, in isolation. It was here that he discovered sports, risk, and adrenaline. The army tempered his character and gave him a sense of strength and control over himself. At the age of 21, he was sent to Aarhus University, where his mother had once studied. Formally, he was there to study political science. In reality, he was there to gain his freedom. Without his parents, without his courtiers, without the crown above his head. September 1989 became a sensation. Dozens of cameras filmed the crown prince going to class. But very soon, suits were replaced by jeans and lectures by parties. Frederik dissolved into student life and felt like a normal guy for the first time. "This city was my refuge," he said. But the press was relentless. Paparazzi caught the air at noisy parties. He made no secret of it. He lived on the edge, limiting himself to only two prohibitions: drugs and chronic alcoholism. He studied until 1995, spent a year at Harvard, served in the army, ran marathons, and sought to discover the limits of his own abilities. Then he decided on an extreme measure: a dangerous expedition to Greenland. No communication, no family, no world. Only silence and ice. While his brother was building a family life, Frederik continued to search for himself. He was handsome, free, and unhappy. Women fell in love with him easily, but no relationship could withstand the royal pressure. Margrethe II unhesitatingly removed any unsuitable bride from her son's life. Frederik flourished where no one knew him. That's how he met Mary Donaldson, an ordinary girl from Australia. They say that shortly before they met, a fortune teller predicted that Mary would meet an influential foreigner. At the time, she just laughed. But in 2000, during the Sydney Olympics, a guy named Fred walked into her friend's bar. She didn't recognize him as the heir to the throne. Something clicked, she later recalled. Their romance developed quietly, without protocol. And then came the wedding of the century. Mary changed everything: her faith, her citizenship, her style, her life. There was calculation in this union, but most importantly, there was love. On May 14, 2004, Frederik, barely holding back tears, vowed to always protect his wife. From that moment on, he began to change. Today, he is the father of 4 children, a mature statesman, a king accepted by his country. He is not perfect. The press still finds reasons for scandals. But as long as he looks at his family the same way he does in that portrait, calmly, with love and confidence, the future of the Danish monarchy remains in safe hands.